Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Let's welcome our esteemed guest, Virendra Sharma. Virendra is no stranger to the world of corporate training, where his expertise lies in crafting and delivering captivating training programs aimed to elevate performance for individuals to reach new heights. Today, let's dwell into the mind of this remarkable individual. Welcome, Virendra. Welcome to Code Speak by our Powered by UStride.
Thank you so much, Elvina. Thank you for this. Thank you so much.
Great. So, before we begin the seriousness of you to share your journey into corporate training and being a motivational and a public speaker.
Let me tell you, in my thought, there was not a kind of a speaker throughout in my lifetime. I was such a shy guy in my college days. The people used to just taunt me, kind of thing. Was very silent. What he will do in the world and all. But when I step into the industry, the scenario was totally different. And I am not a planned speaker. I am accidental speaker. You must say, because I
Oh,
was invited to a college event, and I never thought that I would be given a stage to present my ideas over there about my
right.
corporate journey. And then audience was around 200 to 300 people in front of me in the auditorium. I just went with a manager over there, and he was not well. He thought to just present me as over there as a representative. And later on, like, I thought to just go on the stage and just speak about myself a little bit. But then the audience was flaunted so much, and at that time, like, I really felt something I can grow my career into this. So from time to time, I grow my LinkedIn profile. From there, I got a lot of connections, a lot of people network with me, and there started the journey of the speaker over there.
Great, great, amazing. So, when you train or when you speak, of course, we share a lot of trainers. But how do you plan to create that training and make it impactful for individuals?
There are two factors. First of all, if you're going to in front of the audience, you need to make a good bond with them. If you're not well connected with the audience, I don't think so they are listening to you properly over there. And if you are in the online mode, then also you need to make some kind of humor case story. So in my sessions, in my training programs, I normally try to prepare some real-time example around my world, something like with the e-commerce industry, something my personal life, something like that, which they can well connect with. Now once they have connected with me, I can share my ideas well, and they are able to intercept well as well. So that is something. To bring the audience on your table is not an easy task. You need
Yes.
at least minimum 5 to 3 minutes minimum to connect with them well. And then, like, it's very easy now to transform your ideas, and they were well connected with you.
Great. So, what is your primary level of specialization that you deal with in trainings?
So I serve in around 3 to 4 verticals, which I feel. So first of all is like in the education, if talk about, I'm mostly into the tech skills, tech programs, technical training programs, corporate training programs. Second vertical is comes to the motivational speaker. If you talk about the little bit of the social issues around the world, and if you talk about speciality, and the third vertical is comes in the startup, where I'm going to mentor the people, the student. So that's why I'm associated with the Niti Aayog, Government of India, where I'm mentoring them, I'm coaching them, and I go to the schools. They have a ATL labs. Over there, they are going to build some kind of things. So that is something the third vertical. So mostly my 80 to 90% of the time goes in the corporate training programs only, and 10% like I divert towards the speaking sessions and all.
Right, right. So, when we speak about organizations, of course, organization one part, and when we have education, educational culture is one part. So we have, since you are in the industry, you're dealing with these two cultural clashes or backgrounds, you would say. So what strategies do you apply in your training sessions to create maximum potential retention and knowledge sharing?
See, I will tell you from my past experience what I felt. I was given a batch over there in the corporate training program where the people were from different technical domain. Some were not the IT students, some were non-ITech student over there. At that time, I thought, how should I bring them on the same page? So it's very, very important when you're entering the stage, when you're entering the room where you're going to train multiple people over there, you should know where they stand at the moment. Are they we need
Yeah.
to start with the scratch, the basics, or we need to start from the one which they know little bit about it? So the level of the participants you should be aware of first of all, and second is in what domain they are comfortable, whether they are more comfortable in listening to you through the slides, what mode of presentation you want to make it, or whether they are more in the practical hands-on, they want to do something which is something going to help them in the organization later on. So some factors depends upon the environmental situations, and some factors depend upon the type of the audience you're going to encounter in your training program. So situation to situation, I mold myself in a quick manner and just think like, yes, this is a situation I need to deal with like this. And that is something, it takes me not much time to just surrender myself in that particular environment and mold myself, and then I trigger whatever inputs I want to do in my training program.
Great. Now, when we speak about, changing your approach of training, so of course you deal with a lot of individuals, different backgrounds, like you mentioned, IT, non-IT. So, can you share a moment of the power of transformation with the power of diversity?
Power of transformation, yes, it happened. In my batch there are many students who are only looking for the job perspective, they are joining training from the job perspective only. And my motive is to help them a lot from my side, because I've been into that environment, I know the crux in and out of every interview. So I try to share as much knowledge from my side. But what happens is, if a person is something not real in kind of need of a job, he's only coming for attendance, for a certificate, something, then the trainer can't help much. So my, in the transformation part, I try my best to give them as much as notes, as much as my experience, or as much as my kind of the what I've learned till now in my corporate industry. And there I remember one of the case study that few people got job in Cap Gemini, and they messaged me on the LinkedIn that, sir, I've got a job, and I was a part of your training program long time back. It's been like 4 to 3 years back actually. So it was really a good kind of award for me for that time, that he remembered me and he just messaged me at that time. So something that was really a kind of a transformation journey he has gone through. And I just posted his story on the LinkedIn, and many people like of his batch got influenced, and they also started saying that, sir, can you help us on this, can you provide us some notes, because that person also got a job, we also want to be in the same path. So that is something. And if you talk about diversity, so you will meet a lot of people in multiple domains from multiple mindset. Just we need to think where they need a help actually. Some are little bit not confident in some part of the technical skill set, some are not good in the communication skills, some are not fluent in English, some are not able to express themselves in the HRGD round. So I need to categorize them into multiple groups, and then I start that you need to take a baby steps kind of thing from the initial. No one can be like learning in a night journey kind of thing. Everyone needs a time actually. And one I always says, if you want to master a skill in some domain, you need a minimum 10,000 hours. If you are able to do that 10,000 hours in one skill set, I think you are going to be master one day for that particular skill set. So that's why I deliver a message in every of my training program.
Great. So, when we speak about being clear, being compassion, and having that conviction for leadership, so what is your take on it?
Leadership is something, you can't be a boss, you can't just push your own thoughts onto your team members, onto the other people. If you are a true leader, you should understand the pain point and bring your team together. I remember one of the instance, I was part of another organization, and our company was getting an kind of award on the stage, one of the best team and something. What the manager did, he just went to the stage, right, and he did collect the award, but he didn't invite his all the team members over there. That was something I felt a setback. That if we all are working together, all should be invited on the stage and all should be given kind of a applause over there. So a
Yes.
true leader will do the same thing. He will not go alone, he will take his team along with him. That is a true leadership. And if you talk about, a boss can't be a leader, but a leader can be a boss. If you are a good leader, people team will follow you.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more. So, what advice would you give aspiring leaders who aim to inspire teams and achieve the goals or the vision that they have?
Okay, so in today's industry, if I talk about, people are more concerned about their work. If you take one team, they are actually making kind of the arrangements in the team to replace a resources. They never care about their team members. They think that team members are their kind of slaves, but that not, they are the total employees of yours. So you should respect your employees. You should take them out for dinner, for some outings on weekends. Try to interact with them. Try to be a little bit personal and try to solve their family problems. Something, if you make a good bond, your team members will not treat you as a boss, they will treat you as a friend. And when you are a friend, I think they can go to any extent to help you out. So a true leader will never superimpose his thoughts, his mindset. He will just ask the decisions from his team members as well, along, and then take the kind of final conclusion. So that is something, should a true leader should have a good qualities. It should be a good vision. He should have a good vision about his team. He should also value the thoughts of the other team members, and then only take to the final decision. That is something what I felt.
Great. Now, how do you think that fostering a great and a supportive work environment is important because it in turn supports growth? What is your take on it?
Uh, a supportive environment is a lot, much required. If you are working in a good company, in good organization, you really need a good environment around you. I remember I just read one LinkedIn post today morning only. One girl left the 1.5 CR job in McKinsey, and she left due to the bad corporate environment around her. Although her role was perfect, she was leading a team, she was a good leader, and the only problem was the nonsense environment around her. She has written such a kind of thoughts that if anyone read the post, they will come to know that what kind of environment the McKinsey is having. So I'm not pointing any other company, but I'm saying about any kind of the person who is living in a corporate environment. If a peace is not there, if you're not having mental peace with your job, I think that is not a good place for you. You should immediately look for some other opportunities around you.
Right. So, speaking about opportunity, I'm sure you have all the opportunity around you. That's how you've grown into the individual and the trainer that you are. So, all days are not the same. You also have challenges. So, how do you overcome a challenge? Can you share an experience with us?
I never think that all days are good for me. Some days are good, some days are bad. But we need to take it into a thought that if some days are going good, you should give your best. And if the some days are not going good in your favor, if those are not going as per your expectation, those are bad for you. So never let you down yourself that you're bad, you're not made for this kind of things, you're not made for these opportunities. Just wait and wait, and in those time period, try to revamp yourself on the negative kind of the which you feel so you have so far. So I should say never let a single minute go down. Utilize your time in effective manner and make the best of all the possible opportunities you have till now. And if they've not coming in your way, just don't get disheartened. Just wait for a day or two or something, and definitely you will land up with new opportunity. But keep on trying. Never like that. This is my bad day, so I will not do on this day, and these things are not going in my favor. I should quit it. Never quit. Just keep on trying.
So, can you give us top five tips for challenging situations?
In the challenging situation, you need to be little bit with a positive mindset. First of all, don't be too aggressive. Don't be too short tempered. In third, in just more of a what happens in our daily scenarios, when we have a work pressure, we try to neglect our family members. We just push down ourselves. We just enclose in a cocoon of the tension around, of kind of a stress environment around us. So we, due to that pressure, we just shout on our team, on our family members, on our friends, and all. That should not be kind of happening. You should be little patient. You should calm down yourself and just think of all those good days which has happened to you. So then you will come to your mind that this is nothing. These problems are nothing for me. It will go with the time. So you to be have a very positive mindset. Second is never stop learning. At least learn something in a day. It can be anything. It can be in terms of a non-technical, technical, or anything which you are passionate about. And out of the box, in a day, you should spend some time with yourself. It should not be like that you are only devoted towards your work throughout your professional life, but More important is just keep yourself in a closed room, talk to yourself, and think about what you are actually and what you are built for. If you're not able to recognizing yourself, I think you are something, a gap over there, which you have to fill the gap. And there actually the personal branding comes to action. You have to brand yourself into market in front of others so that the people can think you of a role model as well. So these are the like the tips and what I have learned in my experience. So
So great. What's the mantra that you live by? What is your mantra?
my mantra is that think beyond your limits to achieve the success in your life. If you're trying to land on stars, you will land on moon for sure. It means push across your boundaries, the limits which you have right now. You think that you can survive for 10 hours a day, you can work for 10 hours. Try to push yourself to work for 12 hours, 13 hours. Utilize the time effectively. And I know definitely one day you're going to achieve your success. So that is something, a mantra I always give to everyone. Just don't restrict yourself around your boundaries. Just give the best, and I think more than the best which you can.
Amazing. So what are your plans for 2024?
Plans are not to be disclosed, Elvina. But yes, I do believe what are the plans I have right now. Definitely, I'm going to work on it. I'm still working on it, and something going to happen anew in this year and the next year as well. So I'm planning up with something. You can say my own channel, my own YouTube channel coming up, and one channel is already going on in the form of cooking. Like my wife is supporting me on that, and moreover I'm going to launch my own kind of a career kind of the technical skill channel, which I'm going to teach the people about the skills on the tech skills, the latest industry technologies coming up.
Right.
So they are not aware of it, which is being a demand in the market right now. So that's
Absolutely.
actually my target.
Amazing, amazing. So, looking ahead about the future in corporate training and leadership development, what is the advice that you would like to give youngsters or the audience or people who are watching?
uh, Transforming industry is happening so far that you need to adapt to environment so frequently that you can't lag with your old kind of thoughts. Like if a person is thinking this technology is I knew, but it's not, like it's going to elapse after some time. So you need to adapt to environment so frequently that if the demand comes from the market, you are able to fulfill it. That is something. And second is keeps on learning, as I always says, never stop learning. If you all stop learning, I think then you are not going to acquire that kind of the opportunities which are coming on your way down the line. And third thing is, if you fail to plan, then I think you are planning to fail. Something that is I always do people, you should have a planning in your thought. A plan, B plan, and C plan, always a backup plan should be having. And you should have a multiple source of income in hand also. That's not you are dependent on one source of income. You should have multiple source of income as well, which is going to help you out. If you lose your job, at least you can have some other source which you can carry out. So that is something what I believe, right?
Right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Virendra, for your time.
Thank
And
you,
it
Elvina.
was a
Thank you so
pleasure
much.
speaking
Thank you.
to you. We had a lot of knowledge sharing. We had insights. We had
Thank you so
transformative
much.
experiences and the journey and the typical mantra as well. So it was a pleasure having you. And our key takeaways are the is that learning never ends. So if you think that
Absolutely.
you have to stop learning, no, it is an ongoing journey, and these little steps will definitely help each one of you grow and succeed in your career. That's
Right.
all from me, Alvina, signing
Thank
out
you.
on
Thank you
Code
so
Speak
much.
by our Powered by You Stride. Thank you and
Thank
have a
you.
great
Thank you, Elvina. Thank you
time.
so much. Bye bye.